for everything that you have done for us, dear God. I thank you for this ceremony, dear God, and I thank you that it has come to fruition. Lord, I ask that in this moment that you allow for the ceremony to be one that is according to your will, and that you embody your light through these alumni ambassadors that we will be celebrating today. Lord, I give you all the praise, the honor, and the glory, and I tell you thanks because it is all done. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. Amen. Amen. Alright, so at this time I am going to allow for the Deputy Vice President of Alumni Relations, Mr. Jeffrey Wallace, to greet you all with the welcome. Make him welcome, guys.
Good everyone, thank you so much for joining us this evening. As you all understand, this is the first induction ceremony for the UESAC Core Mona, and the idea originated from our president, who saw the need to have something that goes beyond the moment when you leave, because a lot of persons feel as though the graduation is the end of your tenure within the Core, and a lot of persons have made it clear they don't know what's the next step. The purpose of this particular occasion is to give a bit of insight into what's expected next and show you what the new frontier is as UESAT ambassadors, no alumni ambassadors for the rest of your lives. Going further, we'd like to welcome Ms. Cedar Davidson Francis, who is the originator of this idea. Mr. Dexter Martin will serve as our guest speaker for the evening, and our alumni ambassadors who will be stepping into the new role which they serve in the court today. So once again, thank you all for joining, and we look forward to the rest of the evening's proceedings.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wallace. Well said, honestly. It is true that many persons think that once you're done, once you get the induction as an ambassador and then you graduate, that's it. But I'm so happy that we have this forum and this opportunity to change that, right? At this moment, we're going to get special greetings from who I consider to be one of my, guys, she's my best friend. Right? And your sitting president of the UESAT Mona Corps, Ms. Shanique Campbell. Make her welcome, everybody.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you, my bestie. That's my travel partner, everyone. I must say, of course, that I am very proud to see that this, concept has become a reality. Now I know how Mrs. Francis feels when she sees USAT, blossoming into more than we could even imagine. And I must say that, reiterating what Jeffrey said, Ambassador Wallace, I'm sorry. This idea came about when I was, thinking about running for president last year. And I proposed it, and thankfully, my AR VP and DVP saw it fit to bring this vision to reality. And I must, of course, welcome you all and thank you for being a part of the program, because really, actually, you guys didn't have to decide to do this, but I'm grateful that you did, because we want this program to be something that's a staple in our core, just that as membership induction is a staple. Every year you transition from AD to ambassador and you are inducted. That's what we want for our alumni ambassadors, because I remember speaking to a young man. He was an ambassador. He graduated now, and he told me point blank, "Me graduating, so I'm done with USAT." And so I realized that this program was more necessary than I had thought before. And just giving a brief overview of it, when I conceptualized it, I wanted it to be a two-part series, basically. A seminar and then induction, just as we are trained as an ambassador's designate, and then inducted. Because yes, some of us spend different lengths of time in the Corps. Some persons spend a year as an ambassador, some people 3, some people 6, like myself. And so certain things that you would have learned while you are an ambassador designate, you may forget, and you just need a little refresher. And so that was the reason for the seminar. And I must credit Mrs. Francis for the name, the reorientation session. And I was so proud to see how many persons turned out on that Zoom meeting in November. And I'm glad to see how many persons will be inducted today. And I just want to charge you guys, don't forget us. Don't forget us. That's what we're trying to get you guys to remember. Remember UStat. Remember the experiences you garnered in UStat and all of the things that you did while you were an ambassador. Because we do need help. We need persons to help mentor. Big ups to Shelley. Big ups to Ambassador Jack. She has here some little sign-up sheets for those who like to be mentors. So just check her after we're done here. And we need mentors for our ambassadors or ambassadors designate. If you were an exec members always need help. We always need advice. We always need that little, commendation where fit, a little criticism where necessary so that we can do better. Because we're not only working for ourselves, we are working for the core, and you are still a part of the core, even when you're an alumni ambassador. So again, welcome and congratulations to my alumni relations portfolio for bringing this event to life and for all that they have been doing. And I know that they have even more programs in store for you guys for this year. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
And thank you so much, President Campbell. All right, so we're going to continue with the greetings that we will be having for this evening, and we'll be moving to Ambassador Jack, the Vice President of Alumni Relations, to greet you all. Make her welcome, everybody.
Hello everyone. As Ambassador McFadden would have mentioned, I am Shelley Jacques, the current VP of Alumni Relations. So I'm the one that you guys would have been speaking to over text, and it's really good to finally see your faces and meet everyone. Again, I want to welcome and thank Mrs. Francis for being here. We really appreciate it. Mr. Dexroy Martin, our guest speaker, thank you for taking the time out. All our alumni ambassadors, we're very, very pleased to have you here. It's our honor, myself and my deputy, to have been given the opportunity to plan this occasion to acknowledge and celebrate your transition from ambassadors to alumni ambassadors. We really do look forward to keeping you engaged and making sure that as alumni ambassadors, you feel as though you're still a part of the core and active within the core. So once again, thank you so much for being here, and we hope you enjoy the ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Jack. All right, I have a question for anybody. It's open to anybody, right? Do you all remember when you were inducted as ambassadors? Like, anybody remembers? And if so, if you guys are willing, you can just stand up or probably come here and just mention what that experience was like and how do you feel now, knowing that you're an alumni ambassador. Anybody willing to share? Anybody? Let me see. I don't want to call it anybody. Oh, Ashley's here. Ashley's ready. All right. Yeah, sure. Very nice. Yeah, let me carry the mic to you.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. As mentioned, this is the camera, right? There we go. Hi, everyone. My name is Ashley Ontroy, and I remember very clearly when I was inducted as an ambassador. It was probably one of the greatest days of my university journey, and that would have been because going through the interview process, I don't know if any of you remember how grueling that was to just become an ambassador designate. And after having gone through the training sessions, being informed about what USAT is, what's expected of us, I just felt very privileged to be a part of this body of representatives of the University of the West Indies. And now, sitting there thinking about the 3 years that I've spent, being on the executive body with some of you, the memories that we have, the difficult times, the good times, I'm slightly filled with a little bit of emotions, feeling a little bit sad, but also very happy to see that we've progressed this far and now we're able to give back to this body or this organization in this way. So thank you again for having me, for having us, and long live USAT. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ashley. Anybody else? One more. Just one more person. Anybody else willing? Okay. All right.
Hello everyone, my name is Andre Clark. I was the Vice President of CARICOM Relations back in, when was it? Was it 2018, 2019, thereabout? Yeah. Yes it is, yes it was a great time. I remember more than just the induction, even trying to become a board member and trying to, I said board member, we can't come to onto the executive body. It's just really trying to guide and also being taught from not just Mrs. Davis Francis, or from the other execs. It's really about just learning from the members around us. And that's the thing about you is that everyone, we don't have sense, we don't break. Again, we have ideas and we just want to fulfill that. And I believe that USAT does give that platform, even just going through the different trainings, learning how to be successful members of society, and then being inducted, feeling a part of what that is. When you said that you finally met, when our president said that he finally met the VC, it was like a key thing for us as well. We wanted to see who we're representing, who we are ambassadors for. And those kind of moments really brought us into the fold of, hey, USAT is a lifelong thing. And it's definitely something that we, myself and all the members on my board and on my year, have been thinking about how can we continuously assist. And I am just glad to be here right now. Definitely keep me in the loop. My email is there, my number is there. And let's go. USAT.
All right. Well, would you look at that? I think CARICOM Relations has something about it, because that's two VPs of CARICOM Relations, and the VP of CARICOM Relations for this year is standing right here. Something about it. All right. Well, at this time, I'm going to allow for the program to continue, and I'm going to take greetings now from the Director of Alumni Relations, as well as the Regional Coordinator for the USAT Corps. Please help me welcome the mother of USAT, Miss Celia Davis Francis.
Thank you so much. I'm delighted to be here, and just happy to see so many family members. Remember, we're a family, and I think this is really the point of USAT, that once you become part of the family, you never leave, right? It is a lifelong connection, and I designed it so because you put such a lot of effort into everything. Why not continue? You have all, I believe, very sincerely blossomed on the core and done things that you didn't think you could do. Many of you were reserved. You didn't have the opportunity or the confidence before to speak in public or to give your ideas. And as ambassadors, I think you all became better than you were before. So I'm really, really happy to be here. As you know, in 2019, I launched the Young Alumni Advocates because I realized that we really needed to give you a purpose after graduation. It's all well and good to say, yes, keep in touch, we will be in touch with you from time to time, but I wanted to put in place something a little bit more structured that would allow you to have a purpose. And unfortunately, right after we had the wonderful ceremony, COVID struck. So we were not able to do what we wanted to do. So now this kind of serves as a re-establishment of the YAA. And I'm very happy to say that I have been working along with Ashley, who is Alumni Ambassador and also working as my assistant this year. And we have started the re-establishment of the YAA Jamaica, the YAA Trinidad and Tobago, the YAA UK, and the YAA Anguilla. There are alumni ambassadors in all of those locations who are excited and willing to do all kinds of exciting things, and they have lots of ideas, which you will all hear in due course. I also wanted to indicate that I recognize that as busy professionals, people who are now kind of starting their lives, starting their families, doing traveling, relocating, it would be very difficult to really constrain you too much. So with the YAA, you are part of the network, but obviously because so many of you are in different places, we will be meeting periodically, so not too much time taken from you. And we will be meeting mostly virtually. You will have one signature event, at least initially per year, that you can all get excited about being involved in, which is the Soft and Life Skills Conference. You will be the organizers, the presenters, the speakers. You will get speakers, you'll be the moderators, and you will come up with a theme and topic that is relevant and will involve not only the other alumni ambassadors, but the student ambassadors, as well as the wider UE community. So I really want you to have a signature event that people say, hey, the YAA are doing something every year. It's big and it's amazing. Okay, so this year, the persons that I've mentioned that are in the YAA and all of those places are going to be coming together in October 2023 to put on the first signature conference, and you'll hear more about that. Alumni ambassadors, you have such a wealth of knowledge and experience. I would hope and pray that you also give of yourselves and give back in terms of mentorship of the current core. Those of you who've held executive positions, you can be mentors. Just call up some people. If you don't know how, contact Ashley or myself, and we'll put you in touch with the various regional core, and you can just have a Zoom session with them, telling them about what you're doing and what you've learned, or asking them how you can help them. I also want to mention that for me, the dream is when I introduce you all to executive management, put you back in touch with the Vice Chancellor, the Chancellor, and so on, that they will recognize your worth as a cadre of young professionals that they can call on to represent nationally, regionally, and internationally. Because UE has, I suppose, a fairly large staff membership, yes, but they don't have the real world kind of connection that you do, and I think it's so valuable. And I would really love to see many more of you sitting on UE committees and boards that can give back in this way. It's a tangible way that when the Prime Minister or the Governor General or member of corporate Jamaica wants something from UWI, they look to this group as well for that kind of knowledge and expertise. So that's my plan for the YAA, and I think that the main thing that I want you to remember is that you are part of a family. So you'll never ever be apart from us, okay? You are leaders, you are young professionals, and I look to you for the future of UBSTAT and also of the Caribbean. You know, we need to protect this little place. It's the best in the world, and we need to keep it so. So thank you very, very much for being here. Thank you for being alumni ambassadors, and I look forward to keeping in touch with the family members for a very long time. Take care.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Francis. I must say, I'm really excited about the program that you have mentioned, the Young Alumni Advocates program. Honestly, I know that alumni ambassadors are excited for it, but even me as an ambassador, and I'm sure the ADs and the ambassadors are also online, we are looking forward to even being a part of that program. It's very, very good stuff. At this time, I'm going to invite who you've been hearing about this entire time, your speaker for today, Mr. Dexroy Martin. Now, Mr. Martin, of course, as we know, is a UBSTAT ambassador, but along with that, he would have been a vice president of membership at the Core for one time, and now he's a lecturer in the Department of Government at the University of the West Indies, and is also the assistant island supervisor for the National Workers Union. So at this time, please help me welcome our guest speaker for today, Mr. Dexroy Martin.
Thank you, Ambassador McFarlane, Master of Ceremonies, Mrs. Celia Davidson Francis, Director of Alumni Relations, Ambassadors, Ambassadors Designate, and Alumni Ambassadors, good evening. It's a pleasure to be here. I wanted to go home and put on my USTAT shirt and my pin, but time didn't allow me, so I had to leave from where I was and came here. I wanted to look the part today, but in my heart, yes. Ambassador McFadden asked us to recall our induction. I don't remember a lot about it. I know it was in the council room, and that was 14 years ago. Yeah, 2009. So it's 13, 14 years ago. That's a long time. But UWISTAT it means much to me, and real friendships from across the Caribbean was developed through this program. Still have friends all over the region only because of UWISTAT, and I'm grateful for what it taught me. Leadership, as VP membership, there was a lot to do, especially with the orientation of new members, and I was balancing doing my master's, and I was also teaching all the way in Clarendon at that time. Yes. So I had a lot of traveling back and forth as a young person who had to take public transportation and all of that. And I had to come every Thursday to ensure that the new members or the ambassadors designate were getting the proper training and so forth they needed, carry out all my responsibilities. And those experiences taught me how to multitask, how to be a good leader, just how to be a good person. So I'm grateful to UWISTAT for that which it has done for me. I won't spend long with you. I just want to impart two things and then I will sit down. And Madam VP Alumni Relations, thank you for the invite. Nike's tagline is just do it. And I'm encouraging alumni ambassadors even, just do it. That which you're called to do, that which is your purpose, get up and do it. There will be a lot of distractions, there will be a lot of people who say you can't, and there will be many reasons not to, but you have to get up and do it. I was reading this morning that in the early 1900s, there was a report from a person of substance, a person of stature, a person who knew what he was talking about, who said that it would take mankind millions of years before we could fly, meaning not physical fly, but the airplane. And 10 days after his article was published in the paper, the Wright brothers took their first flight. So something that this expert claimed would take millions of years for mankind to do, in 10 days, the Wright brothers had completed their own calculations and so forth, of course starting before that article came out. But they accomplished that which an expert said was impossible to do. And so there are many people from many walks of life, from many calls of fame, who will say that that which you think you're called to do is impossible, that you're not the right person, it's not the right time, it's not the right environment, but just get up and do it. Will there be challenges? Of course, and you welcome them, because the challenges are what makes it even better. Will there be failures? Yes, but your failures are a stepping stone to your success. So don't worry about the failures. They are not ends in themselves, but they are pathways to the goals that which you want to go. The second thing is a quote out of Julius Caesar, said by Brutus to Cassius when they were going to have a battle with Mark Antony and I think Ptolemy. after Caesar's death, and they were warring over the Roman Empire. Brutus says, "There's a tide in the affairs of men, which taken at the flood leads on to fortune. Omitted, all the voyage of your life is bound in shallows and miseries. On such a full sea are we now afloat, and we must take the current when it serves, or lose our ventures." It's a longer way of saying, just do it, right? Sometimes opportunities come just once, and delay can be very fatal. It doesn't mean that you don't assess risks and so forth, but sometimes we have a way of delaying until the opportunity passes, and then we use that famous saying, "If me did know," right? Just get up and do that which you are called to do. It doesn't make sense to regret that you didn't. Most times when we go out and do the thing, even if we fail and so forth, there isn't much regret. We'll say, "Oh, okay, I think I learned the lesson. I think I know what not to do now." It is regret most times come when we did not take the action that we wanted to do. And there's this thing in our mind, "I wonder if I had done it, what would have happened?" You know your purpose. Go out there, get it done. There's another saying that says, "Ugly win is better than a pretty fail." Ugly win is, so you might not come out of it without bruise and scrapes. You might not come out of it. You might come out of it worse for wear, but you are successful anyway. But the fact is, you have done it. So, as you go forward, a few things to note. Have a clear vision of your path. Have a clear vision of what you want to be. That's something you think about. Who it is that you want to be, what it is that you want to accomplish. Some of us, we wander lofty as a cloud across the deep blue sky, so says Wordsworth. And we don't know where we're going, or we don't know if we're coming or going. That's not a good way to live life, right? We must have a purpose, have a vision, have a path for ourselves. And having made that vision, having decided on that path, don't procrastinate, right? They say procrastination is the thief of time. Don't procrastinate. Do that which you have to do. Get up, go out, and do it. Just do it. And then challenge the process. As young people, we can't be passive, innocent bystanders in our lives, in the world. Everything is happening around us, and we have no care in the world. No, we can't be that. Especially as ambassadors, we have to see us playing a role in the world around us. Things can't just be happening to you, and you just take it as it comes. And nah, you are ambassadors, it's alumni, designates, and ambassadors. You have to be active in the process of change. They say you have to be the change you want to see. So you have to be active in the process of change. Whether it is change on the campus, change in your workplace, change among your friends, whatever the change is, a personal change. You can't allow life to happen to you. You have to be active in the life that you live. And too much of the people our ages, the millennials and the Zers, the generation Z or Z, whichever one you want to pronounce it, and the alphas coming along now. I get the feeling that some of us don't feel that we have a role to play in the society, somebody else's responsibility. I'm encouraging each of us to see the role that we have to play in our future, in our present, so that we can make a better world for ourselves and our progeny. And build genuine relationships. we are taught, especially at the university, to build networks. But I get that sometimes when we're taught to build networks, it's transactional. It's because I'm building networks because when I finish UE, I want to get a job and I need a links and so forth. That's not what I'm talking about. But building genuine relationships with people. There's this myth that we don't need people. I don't need anybody. Me alone, born, etc. We need people. If you don't think so, get over it. We need people. We need each other. Doesn't have to be a whole host of people. You might have 2 or 3 friends that are your close friends, but you need people. You need people to share with. When you're going through your happy times, when you're going through your sad times, you need to be someone who is there for your friends as you will need them when you're going through your troubles. But you have to build genuine, lasting relationships with people. Not a transactional thing. Might be somebody who will never be able to give you anything but a kind word. That's fine. Build genuine, long-lasting relationships with people. And the penultimate thing, make sure you enjoy life. Yeah. Make sure you enjoy life. None of us know how long or short it will be, but enjoy it. Life comes with lots of problems, lots of troubles, trials, and tribulations, but find the time somewhere to enjoy it. Some people enjoy it, differently. Where I'm at now, enjoying life is not hearing any noise, just having some quiet time. That is enjoyment. If that is your enjoyment, that's fine. If your enjoyment is taking a trip, continent hopping, kudos to you, pat me in the bag, right? But enjoy life. Find ways to enjoy life. There's 2 schools of thought that says, one says enjoy small wins. One says, celebrate the big things. I'm not going to debate those 2 ideologies today. Whatever your conception of it, which side you fall, enjoy. If it's the big things, if it's the small things, try your best to enjoy life. There are many people who are much older than us who will tell you that one of the regrets they have is that they did not enjoy their youth. So enjoy it. Of course, be responsible. Even though, be responsible. And the last thing, and this is just my view. I'm not preaching any doctrine, but let God be your guide. And whatever your conception of God, I personally believe that, there is someone greater than ourselves. And put God at the center of your activities. Put him at the center of your life and ensure that in whatever you do, it's God-focused. I challenge each and every one of us to go out there, conquer the world, leave no stone unturned, and at the end of the day, don't let it be said that you didn't try. Try it. And as I end where I started, like Nike, just do it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Martin, for that. Honestly, I took notes. I took notes because honestly that was very impactful, what you had mentioned. The reality that we just have to do whatever we are set out to do, to enact on our purpose, to fulfill our purpose, and to allow for that to, charter our future, I'm really happy that you also mentioned that we should build long-lasting and genuine relationships with people. That is something that, honestly, we as young people can take for granted. And I'm really happy that you would have mentioned that. But most importantly, that you let God be your guide. I found it so funny that you mentioned that because it immediately reminded me of my alma mater's motto, Arden, yeah, for all of my Arden people out there, with God as guide, seek the best. It means so much that you would have said that, and I hope that everyone would have taken on what he would have mentioned just now. All right, so because of time constraints, we unfortunately do not have the musical piece to give you, but that's okay, because it's the moment you've been waiting for. It's that time when you will be finally inducted officially as UWI Alumni Ambassadors. And to do that, I'm going to invite our Vice President and Deputy Vice President of Alumni Relations, both Sade, Ambassador Jack rather, and Ambassador Wallace, to do what needs to be done. Make them welcome, everybody.
Thank you, Ambassador McFadden. So at this time, I'm going to have my deputy read the names. So I will be doing the honor of pinning the new alumni ambassadors.
These pins look quite lovely. If you can see, the color goes from green to purple as you transition. So we'll be starting with and I'm realizing here we have a few A names, so we're seeing, I'm checking my alphabet here to see who'll be coming first. So we'll be starting this evening with the first inductee being Mr. Adrian McLeod. Thank you so much, Alumni Ambassador McLeod. Next we'll be having Mr. Andre Clark coming forward to have his pin. It's something about CARICOM. CARICOM, you know, but it's also something about alumni relations who brought you all together. Thank you so much. And next in line is, a person who I would be remiss if I never commented on being an ambassador and actually working with the Corps post-service as an ambassador. That is Ambassador Ashley Cianfroy. Thank you so much. So we're going to be asking our President and Mrs. Davis and Francis to step forward as well to assist with the pinning, just for the idea to have everybody included in the process. Next we'll be inviting Ms. Anna K. Walters forward. Following Anake, we'll be inviting Ms. Tonian White to come forward. Oh, Tonian Mariam, my most sincere apologies. Oh, you see what? Oh. Thank you so much. For our final two attendees in the audience with us, we'll be inviting Mr. Davidson Francis to come forward for those pins. You see, so the persons to be coming forward will be Ms. Patrice Clayton, and we'll be skipping over Patrice and going to Mr. Ricardo Ricketts. Ms. Davidson Francis, we're going to be asking you to stay. We have one more person. There was a bit of a mix-up, but it's, not who was called first, but who was called last. And we'll be inviting Tanya McFarling forward to receive her pin. Thank you to those who made it in person to join us. However, for the sake of those online and those who participated in the induction process in various different ways, we'll just be listing the persons who couldn't be with us in person but have been a part of this process leading up to today. So that would be for the 2022-2020. That was the most disrespectful part of the evening. Our former membership director of all persons, and I'm going to be calling all three persons forward, please. Our president, the regional director, as well as the vice president of Alumni Relations, for pinning Mr. Martin, from 2009.
To be fair, in 2009, I did not yet have the pins ready. So this is he's not being disrespected. It's just that he's now at the right place at the right time to receive his pin.
Perfect. I couldn't have said it better myself. Just to get through this particular area quickly, we'll be listing all members. If you were called, there's a possibility that your name will be repeated just for the record. So those are Abigail Senior, Adrian McLeod, Andre Clark, Anna K. Walters, Ashalia Morgan, Ashley Onfroy, Atiba Morris, Bettina Lloyd, Brittany McCrae, Christina Blake, Ebony Smith, Gabriel Clark, Jacinth Molling, Jamoy Phillips, former president, Javon Gordon, Javane Brown, Kenise Lynch, Lakeisha Locke, Lasana Bruce, Martina Bailey, Monique Jackson, Patrice Clayton, Patrice Smith, Raina Hepburn, Ricardo Ricketts, Radine Sylvester, Romaine Dixon, Sashana Perry, Shamar Wedderburn, Shanna Kay, Shaniel Nelson, Tamoy Campbell, Tanya McFarlane, Tashay Bowes, Tony Ann Mary, Vanessa Swaby, Vernique Miller, and Zandria Roach. That would be the class of 2022 to 2023 inductees into the YA and our newest alumni ambassadors. We'll be inviting to the lectern Mr. McFadden as our Master of Ceremonies.
All right. You're pinned. Guys, you're pinned. How does it feel? No, be honest with me. Awesome, right? Oh my gosh. All right, guys. Well, sadly, we have to. That's it. We're finished. Sadly, we're finished. But, I am so happy that we have been able to meet here and that we're able to celebrate this moment and that you all are now officially UWI Mona Alumni Ambassadors. Congratulations, everybody. All right. So thank you so much to Mrs. Francis, the Director of Alumni Relations and the Regional Coordinator for the UWI Mona Corps. Special thanks as well goes out to, the Vice President and Deputy Vice President of Alumni Relations, Ambassadors Jock and Wallace, for putting this together. Thanks as well to our President, Ambassador Campbell, for generating this idea. Thank you so much as well to the Communications and Internal Relations Department of the UWI Mona Corps for all of the media coverage that we have today, right? And I want to thank you all, alumni ambassadors, for making the time. I'm sure you guys have very busy schedules, and you're living your best lives out there representing the UWI Corps, and you found the time to come here and to celebrate this moment. Thank you all so much. At this point, I'm going to invite all of you to kindly make your way outside, as refreshments are here for you. But of course, we can't miss that out. We cannot miss that out. This is big. So refreshments are outside for you all, of course. But before that, we're going to take some official photos with all of you, newly pinned. And afterwards, we will just continue, meeting and greeting. It was happening already, So we're just going to continue getting to know each other and embracing this moment. Thank you all so much for coming, and it has been a pleasure being your Master of Ceremonies this evening. Thank you.